Hi, this is Kathy from Craft with Kathy. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to do a quick little project suitable for holiday decor or even as a gift item. I'm going to use the new transfer, Faith, Love, and Hope. And this transfer can be separated or cut across on these lines. But for our first project, I'm going to keep the transfer intact the way it is. Our transfers are made of vinyl and silk screen with an adhesive backing. They are reusable. I'm placing this down on what's called our fuzzing sheet or our fuzzing towel, and the idea is because the transfers have an adhesive backing, we want to reduce the adhesive a little bit by actually deliberately putting lint on the transfer. And the easiest way to do this is by using this fuzzing cloth. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you could use a towel. Some people use their clothes. The idea is to apply a little bit of lint so that the transfer is not as sticky, so that when you place it on your surface, it's easier to pick it up. You want it to hold tightly while you apply your chalk paste or your ink, but you also want to be able to lift it up and then clean it, as our transfers are reusable. With proper care, our transfers can be used 8 to 12 times or more. And I'm going to do this on just a black 12 by 12 inch canvas that I purchased at the craft store. I have laid down painter's tape on both edges just really for placement purpose for me. This transfer is almost actually the width to fit between these, and I could eyeball it, but if you're not good about eyeballing it, use painter's tape, or we actually have some placement tape that works wonderfully. When I lift the transfer off of my surface or even my fuzzing towel or fuzzing cloth, I always want to lift from top to bottom or left to right. I never want to pull it on the diagonal. Pulling it on the diagonal, it could actually cause the transfer to distort or stress, just like the diagonal or the bias of fabric. So I'm taking it from top to bottom. And then, because I'm going to be applying it to this canvas, when I push down to apply the paste from the other side, I don't want to be stretching the canvas. So in order to eliminate that issue, I'm going to tuck my little fuzzing towel in here. You could use a shallow book if you wanted, whatever really works for your purpose. I'm going to place this, and then I'm going to straighten out my fuzzing cloth a little bit. This is going to overlap my tape just to here. That's fine. This is just a quick way of showing you a trick to placing your transfers, in case you struggle with eyeballing it. I want to smooth out my transfer, making sure I have no air bubbles and that it's attached to my surface. I could remove these. I probably could have eyeballed this without any issue, but I just wanted to share that little tip with you. And I think if I fold this in thirds, I'm going to have to tuck it in a little bit to get it to fit quite how I wanted it. Sometimes I use a dish towel. It really depends what I'm working with, but anytime you use a canvas, put something behind it so that you do not stretch. It might be a little bit too much, so you don't stretch the canvas. Let's try this again. There we go. And with that in mind, you really don't want to press too hard. Okay, I think we have that pretty much centered, and it should be pretty nice and firm. I'm going to use our shimmer paste to do this. I'm going to use gold for the faith, silver for the love, and copper for the hope. I might come in and after the silver use red. It really depends on what it looks like. But I think it'll be sharp on the black canvas. It'll be very striking. Now I just use these pastes Um, so I know that they're the proper consistency. You want your paste to be between a yogurt and like a whipped up sour cream type of texture. If your paste gets a little bit thicker, you can thin it down using distilled water. So I'm going to dip my little squeegee in my gold paste, my gold shimmer. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? And just apply it to my word faith. I'm going to use a nice even pressure. Push through the silk screen. I did nothing to prep this canvas at all, just took it out of the package. Want to remove any lines that I have. Make sure I have good coverage. Take off any excess. Kind of missed a little bit there. That looks better. No lines. Take any excess and put it back in my container. Jar of paste gives a lot of coverage. And then I'm going to put my squeegee quickly in a little water bath so I can wash it off easily. And let me grab another squeegee. And I'm pretty much going to do the same with my silver shimmer paste, only across the word love. Depending how this looks, I might actually leave it with just the silver, or I might want to come over it after it's dried with a red and have the silver out there as just kind of like a shadow. I don't know, I have to see how it really looks. Okay, this, I think I've gotten it applied nicely. I want to scrape up any excess, return it to the jar. Put that squeegee in my water bath. As you can see, this goes fairly quickly. So it's an ideal medium for making do-it-yourself gifts, if you will. Oops. Guess I'm out of large squeegees. A little bit smaller one for the copper. And interestingly enough, I think the copper shimmer paste is my favorite shimmer. We now have the shimmer paste in gold, silver, copper, and a red that just came out with our new catalog. So I've applied my paste, my copper shimmer paste, making sure there's no lines, removing any excess. And placing the excess back in the jar. And my squeegee into my water bath. Now I want to lift from top, bottom, or left, right. I'm going to go from the top. And check it as I go. I don't want to completely lift up. I want to make sure that I've got nice, good coverage there. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to put my transfer in a water bath. I don't know, I think it's kind of understated but very pretty. I think I would leave it instead of actually adding the red to it. What do you think? Nice quick project, wouldn't you say? I'm going to set this aside for a minute. Rinse my transfer in its little water bath. I want to basically remove as much of the chalk paste as possible, and then I'm going to show you how I clean the transfers. And you can see this is a very, very quick process. If you'd like to join my VIP group, comment add me below and I will send you an invitation. I'm taking the wet transfer. Obviously I didn't get a lot of it off. The shimmer pastes are a little bit more work to remove in the water bath. I'm next going to take a Clorox wipe in a nice circular motion, just clean it off. If there's any staining because of the chalk paste, I would just use my board eraser to remove that. Yeah, there's a lot of sparkle left on this. If you'd like to see a nice little bundle of creativity show up on your doorstep once a month, comment club below and I will send you information about our Chalk Couture. Once a month, our Chalk Couture Club. Once a month, you receive an exclusive transfer, full instructions, and the paste to use that transfer for only $19.99 a month. Okay, I've removed, whoops, a little bit too much of a hurry there. Okay. Now, the other side is adhesive, but this is a glass mat and there's water underneath it, so it is not stuck. What we want to do now is clean the back of the transfer. And obviously we want to remove any paste that's on the back of the transfer, but what we also want to do is remove the fuzz that we applied to it, because we want to renew the stickiness. I usually remove the paste first and then come back with a nice clean Clorox wipe. Slow down, Kathy. Sorry. Light pressure is all you really need. Come back with a clean Clorox wipe, excuse me, and remove the lint. Removing the lint renews the adhesive to the transfer. With proper care, these transfers can be used 8 to 12 times or possibly longer. I have heard of other people getting more than 12 uses out of a single transfer. And you might say, well, why would I need to use a transfer more than one time? Because you can do lots of things with this transfer. This is the first time I've used it. And as you can see, the project was very quick. What if I took these transfers, cut them apart like they're intended to be, and framed them each individually? Wouldn't that make a nice little display on the mantle or on a photo wall? Look for that as an upcoming project. So I'm just removing any lint. And then I'm going to set this to dry, adhesive side up. Cookie sheets, cookie cooling racks work great for this. And I will let it dry until it's dry. Let it set until it's dry. And then when it's set, I will reapply the white sheet that I took off its backer to it. That allows you to store it without getting it stuck to anything. If you have any questions or comment, please feel free to comment below. If you'd like information on the Chalk Couture opportunity, please comment join below and I will send you a link to a no obligation video that you can watch at your leisure that talks about the benefits and the opportunity that exists. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful life.